Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Pedro.
This is Jackson.
And you're watching Solid Foundation. Hey, Jackson, today, man, market has shifted.
Yeah.
From last year to this year.
Positive, in a positive way.
In a great way.
Yeah.
So today we want to talk about what activities agents should be doing to be ready, right? To be prepared, to make the most out of it.
Absolutely.
Real estate is one of those things that you have to be mentally ready, right? When the market demands that we're moving faster and we do things better, you have to be ready or you'll stay behind.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. No, I know, we always talk about real estate's a changing market. It's a very unique career, which is absolutely true. But, we wanted to give you guys some tips for this 2024, what we're seeing, past the first month already.
Yep.
And, what we've seen and what tips and tricks to look out for to stay on pace.
Yeah. Awesome, man. So just to start it off with, Jackson, as the market gets a little bit faster and more buyers start coming out there, right? If rates go lower, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a lot more traffic, a lot more people interested. What are some things that you would recommend for agents to do? Whether newer or experienced agents, right? Maybe people have been in real estate for a while, but they never got to experience a market like this one right now, where it's a little bit faster. What would you recommend for them to stay ahead of things, staying ahead of trends, and just to be ready when the people come, you are ready to go? Yeah.
So first off, especially if you're newer, you're not working like 5 transactions right now. Talk to some other agents. I get a feel of what they're seeing. It's not hard to call a listing agent either, right? Now we're going to talk about this in a few ways, but especially when you're starting out, call the listing agent, see what kind of traffic they have on their listings. What kind of offers are they seeing? What are the sellers accepting, right? Talk to someone who just went pending or went under contract. Ask them what the seller liked the most about that offer. And the other thing is just keeping on track with your MLS. Your MLS, you can check closed or sold listings and pending listings at the same time and see exactly when it happens in real time. See how fast they're going off the market. Get an average days on market, do a CMA for that neighborhood. Those are all things you can do without having to have a client ready, so that when you do have someone looking, you know what to do.
Right. I really like that. And I like that for many reasons, but the reason I like it the most is when the client is ready to go. Let's say today you met someone, they are ready to go. If you were not prepared before you got to that appointment to already be able to make suggestions or provide actual insight on that property you're showing, the chances of you converting are slim, right? Now, if you approach it proactively and you just prepare ahead of time and know, okay, I'm showing 3 houses today, right? Out of this 3 houses I'm showing, property 1 and 2 probably have the best chance of my client liking them. So let me go ahead and just reach out to the listing agent ahead of time. Let me find out if they have any more offers, what type of traffic they have been getting, what things are doable for the sellers, what are non-doable things, what's important to the seller, do they need a lease back, do they not? Let me run comps for it. Chances are my client would love this one out of the 3, and I just want to have a number already to just provide him ideas while we're at the house. I don't want to leave and say, hey, thank you for showing up. Wait for me until tomorrow so I can do my research and provide you. If you don't move quick, it will be gone. We experienced this during COVID.
Absolutely. So it's important too, definitely when you're first meeting somebody to be ready, to know exactly what that seller wants. If your buyer decides, they walk 2 feet in the house in 2 minutes, they say, Jackson, this is the one. What do? You got to know what to do, or you're going to have to call the listing agent after the fact, find out all that data, and you're going to lose that excitement. Something important too is to set your buyer expectations. We're talking about having to move quickly. Well, that means we need to let our buyers know, hey, you should get your pre-approval letter ready.
We have to educate our buyers, right?
Right. We have to educate them on how fast the market is going, because during COVID, I messed that up a lot. We'd come in, we had 48 hours to submit the offer, and they didn't have their due diligence done. You know, they didn't have their pre-approval letter, or they didn't look up how much down payment they needed, what they could use, what they couldn't use. They haven't talked to a lender. I mean, there's a lot of variables there, and you have to prepare buyers and be ready for that too.
100%. I agree with you 1,000% when it comes to that. And I think also too is with all this new people, let's not forget the old people, right?
Right.
And we don't use old clients in the team, right? That's a term that we don't use. Clients are clients for life, regardless if they are from the past or new ones. Don't forget about the ones that maybe were not ready last year. Right. But in order for you to reach out to them and let them know what's going on, I mean, you have to deliver that information. You are the source of education. If you're not reaching out with education and why they should maybe consider making a move this year, then you're missing out on an opportunity, especially in a faster market. Guys, if you've been waiting for rates to drop, they finally did. This is what's going on out there. This is what you're going to see. This time we can still get you concessions from the sellers. People that were waiting from the past are making moves today. Let's get you out there to look at some houses. Don't forget the old people and just focus on the new people, right? A lot of times your closest contract is already sitting in your inbox. You just haven't really done the following up.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. I think too, it's just super important to stay proactive, and continue to keep those people updated with the market. I think that's what made us, want to talk about this today, is really if you get ahead of it. If you get ahead of the market now and you're educating some of your past clients right now, one, they're more likely to still get a good deal. They're going to be prepared when they are ready. And then, they're not going to have to pay triple the price when the rates do fall out. And even if they don't, when you get towards the summertime, it's more active, right? There's more buyers trying to buy houses, more competition. And if you're not telling your consumer that, they don't know. They don't know to act fast. So
I don't know about you, but I feel like agents, man, we have the responsibility to educate people. A lot of times we meet people that we may not agree with how they think the market is going, but can you really blame them if nobody ever told them what they should be looking at or why they should be looking at it from a different perspective? A lot of times it comes from what they see on the news or family members. If you don't educate them, let them know why people are making moves now, how else are they going to know? Stay on top of it. Be the source. We talk about social media and educating people and being the source of information. Don't stay away from that. Make sure they know why they should be making moves this year. Also, listings. They're going to move quicker as well, right? Less days on the market, a lot more traffic. Same thing with listings. We got to move a little bit faster. If you have someone that is looking to sell, this is a good time as well. They need to know what the competition is like out there, right? Realistic idea of value. And the more competitive the price is, and the better the chances the house will be gone soon. But at the same time, we want to have all our ducks in one basket and just be ready to go. Pictures, everything taken, representation, document signed. We need to go quick, right? This is a unique time. We don't know if rates go up again next month. We might not have enough buyers out there. But right now, this is what we have. Let's capitalize. Let's go out with a bang. Let's do an open house starting. Right? Let's get people here into this house as quick as possible.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the listing side. A big thing on the listing side, when we start to heat up, when we start to see more people try to buy homes, right? And they're all trying to compete, there's a lot of strategies with listing. You don't want to just shoot for the moon all the time. Yes, it's a good market and you might get your dream price out of your house, but there's also strategies where we can price it right on the market value, knowing that 12 people are going to be open to buying that for that price. And now you've got 12 people fighting over the house.
And that is a lot more beneficial than from the beginning going for a higher end price that is just going to sit there for a while.
Right. And you might, that's the thing, you might still get that price and a good market, but it is that time factor. How much time do they have to move to their next house? Is their next house they're trying to buy as competitive, right? You have to think about that when you have someone that needs to sell and buy at the same time in a fast market. We saw at COVID is very hard. That's how you have all these iBuyers come forth. You know, you have Open Door, you've got Orchard still around. You know, you had Zillow offers, and these are great options for those people, but they were successful because people were in a pinch. They were like, man, I know it's competitive out there. I can't offer and make my offer the best that I can without having to sell my house first.
Right.
So, you know, there's a lot of strategies to consider. Now, Pedro, you know, what's something that was really successful for you in the contract? So let's kind of shift it a little bit towards the contract strategy. What's something that you changed for buyers that helped them win?
Well, yeah, I mean, the number one thing is understanding what type of financing they have.
Yeah.
Cash buyer, conventional, FHA, VA, whatever it is, understanding what each loan brings into the table and what stipulations and how it might even be perceived from the listing side. Right? Understanding how much is the down payment, right? Can we waive appraisal? Can we not waive appraisal? Can we offer a little bit more earnest money to demonstrate to the seller that we really want this house? Can we do a shorter option period? Maybe we don't need 10 days of inspection period. Maybe we can get away with 4 days. As long as we move quick and I have experience as an agent to reach out to my network and get this done fast, maybe that's the ultimate there. Do we need as much concessions as you thought? For the right home, if it doesn't have any offers, by all means give it a shot and ask for as much as you can. But if it's one of those unique homes, the unicorns, maybe we don't ask for that much. Maybe we ask less in different places and we are offering more money in other ways, right, to kind of help the offer a little bit better. Days of closing. Can you close sooner than the average person that'll get an offer? Right? Are you going above asking price? And if so, are you actually able to cover the difference if it doesn't appraise or not? A lot of different strategies. What about you? What do you think?
No, all of these are great. And I brought it up because, I think it's a big point of education. Like we talked about just a second ago. People don't know how to negotiate, right? That's why we're hired. That's why we have jobs as real estate agents, is to help people with this. And so just remember, you have to tell buyers this is an option. They're not going to know they can waive appraisal, right? They're not going to know that having a shorter option period here in Texas or inspection period other places is better for the seller, and the seller is more likely to take that. Everyone thinks about it in money purposes. Like they think if I offer more or less, that's going to be the only factor that helps me get this house, and that's just not true at all. So one thing I really liked that I used a lot was not just negotiating price, it was shortening the option period. Let's say I'm locked in, the buyer wants to buy this house, they're willing to purchase it at listing price, and they're willing to go just 3 days for their inspection period. And they're going to do inspections, they're going to negotiate anything in that inspection within 3 days. And that's risky for the buyer, because now we have to find an inspector that'll get out there that fast. We've got to turn around and negotiate any repairs that he may find. And it's a shorter period, so it's riskier for the buyer. And the seller might want to take that more, even if someone is offering more money. Because if someone else is offering $5,000 more, but they want 15 days on the option period, it's a more risky for the seller. That's more risky for the seller, to take on, because they have 15 days that they can back out. So that was something that really worked for me, was shortening the option period.
Great points, Jackson. And if I could just leave something here for people, for agents out there, I think the most important thing to be successful this year, honestly, is all the things we mentioned, right? If you have the knowledge to do all these things, do you have support, someone that can guide you into what you can and cannot do with the contract? But I think the most valuable is to have that conversation with the client.
Absolutely.
To put the cards on the table from the beginning, educate them, so that once they're educated, you can make suggestions. You can't ask someone to follow you if they're not educated on the process. Now, if it was a different market, I would most likely be suggesting something different. With this market, though, in order to have a better chance, this is how we have to approach houses when we go look at them. And if you do like something, we have to be very determined, and we have to be very, very intentional when it comes to making an offer, making it attractive. If we don't have this one-on-one with my client Jackson right now, how can I expect Jackson to be okay with doing a 3-day option period?
Right.
How could I expect you to be okay with paying double the amount of earnest money? How? You don't know why. I'm telling you why. And I will tell you, if this wasn't happening, then you would probably get a different version of what I think was a good strategy.
Right.
But right now, you want your dream home, this is what it's going to take. You want to have your pre-qual ready, Jackson? We want to be short on option period if it's one of those popular houses that has multiple offers. If you could afford a bigger down payment, that's maybe something you would probably want to consider. Maybe the options of waiving appraisal if it's something that you're willing to do. How comfortable do you feel with maybe a shorter option period? I wouldn't suggest if the house has been sitting on the market for a long time to do this, but this one here does. You get what I'm trying to say, though.
Yeah.
Having that one-on-one consult with the client and educating them, this is what we have to do in order to be successful.
Right.
What does a win look like to you? And let me tell you how I can help you and what it's going to take for you in order to get something like that. This is what I need you to do. I need you to be on point with this, and this, and I handle the rest.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. Setting expectations, like we said, meeting and talking through the whole deal is going to save you so much time. But I know there's a lot of agents out there watching this. They're like, Jackson and Pedro, this is a dream scenario. Nobody's going to listen to what I say. And that does happen. However, you will be very surprised and impressed with yourself and this advice if you just do it. And if they don't listen, that's fine. You're still going to write the offer. You're still going to help them, try to buy the home. And if it doesn't work out, they might realize, oh, maybe Pedro, Jackson, maybe they were right. Maybe your advice was right. And they'll listen to you the second time you go to make an offer, right? And this does happen, especially for first-time buyers out there. Their parents are telling them, whoa, no, you shouldn't pay double earnest money, and, they shouldn't pay, $12K over list price.
The seller should be paying all your closing costs.
Right. They're going to look at you crazy, and they're like, no way, there's no way. Maybe I should wait. Don't let them wait, still submit the offer, however they want to try to do it at first, but it will take maybe a few lost offers. That's what we learned in COVID. I had a lot of clients lose offers, and we kept trying, and they finally started to listen. And
get feedback to the client, right?
Right.
If this offers didn't work out, let me tell you why they didn't accept your offer.
And so, yeah, exactly. And you can, call the listing agent and ask. Don't just accept, oh, your offer wasn't accepted. Do not accept that.
Tell me what didn't help at all from my agent's offer, from my client's offer. Right. I want to know. I want to give you feedback. And you're absolutely right. A lot of times it's going to take for you to lose that one house in order for them to listen to you.
Yep.
But you trying to deliver your education, your knowledge, you can never go wrong with that.
Right.
Whether you do it at the beginning or later. Me personally, with the experience I have, I wish I would have done this at every appointment from the beginning the first time. That's what I do now.
Right.
Didn't do it before.
No, I agree. I mean, it just saves you so much time. It's the same as we were talking about what you do at your first appointment. And what is it like? What do you do? That's the biggest thing too, is going through the whole buying process. And this is very similar. If you go through, this is the dream scenario. This is the best your offer can look if you do X, Y, and Z. But I know this is not all possible, in your certain financial scenario, or maybe just what you want to do.
Yeah.
So tell me which of these things we want to do, we can try and see what works.
And I mean, going back to the beginning of the video, you mentioned something that kind of stuck to me. Even if you're new and you don't have many people in your pipeline, there's no excuse for you to not know what's going on out there in the market.
Right.
Because that's the number one thing you're going to deliver to your clients. Your unique value proposition and the level of knowledge that you have about your job. Even if I don't have listings, I'm still doing hot sheets.
Yep.
I'm doing comps. I'm tracking what the movements are doing. Who is selling the most? What areas are the hottest areas? What's going on? Because that's what I'm going to deliver to you. Let me ask you a question, Jackson. Is there a perfect location to do a solid buyer's consultation? Or could it be anywhere? How do you look at it?
This is how I look at it. I like it. I mean, really, now you could do it anywhere. The best case scenario, if you're at a brokerage that has a brick and mortar office, bring them in the office, right? You sit down in front of a computer and you go through the neighborhood. You go through those 3 options you are going to show them after the meeting. That's what I would do. Yeah, you want to sit in person in the office, but it really can be anywhere. Some of my favorite ones too is like model homes. Like, it's really not too salesy.
Yeah.
You come in, it's a nice product. Everyone, it is like, man, this is super fun, and the sales guy normally helps you out.
Yep.
And then after, you kind of ask them, what was that like? What numbers did you see you didn't like? And that's an easy way too, right?
I like that because you can actually show comps.
Yeah.
You can show a lot of different, I'm not just suggesting this. Let me show you what's happening in this neighborhood in the past 2 weeks.
Yep.
This is what everybody's paying for right here.
And the sales guy, like I said, the sales guy on a model home will help you with that. Like, they'll have everything they've sold, and they'll tell you, this goes up $3,000 every 2 weeks, which is probably true here in San Antonio. And so those places are great. But it's that face-to-face, and it doesn't have to be at a house. You don't even have to have a house ready. You can just say, hey, I know you were interested in real estate and want to buy something soon. Can we have a coffee? Bring your laptop. And you run through those numbers right in front of them. That's the best strategy.
Do you want to know my favorite location for this?
Sure.
Driveways.
The driveways, yeah, that's easy.
Driveways. Even a house, an empty house.
Yeah.
We're looking at 3 houses today, Jackson. I'm going to give you everything you need to know about the market, my value proposition, why you should work with me. I'm going to demonstrate to you that I know my stuff and that I'm the easy button to get you to the finish line and get you the goal.
Yeah.
But as we're walking in these houses, there's going to be 1 or 2 houses that are empty, and I'm going to keep my laptop with me. That's where I'm going to pull up and have a 20 minute conversation with you, and I'm going to invite you over to come and look at my screen as I start running different scenarios and comps.
Yep.
The whole point of this, he's not wrong, I'm not wrong. You can do it anywhere.
Right.
The point is, do it. Don't just get there without being prepared, knowing your market, knowing what's going on out there, already preparing ahead of time, maybe calling the agents, the listing agents for the houses you're going to show.
Yep.
Right? Come prepared, ready to have this one-on-one. If you miss this opportunity to educate someone, they'll never follow you.
Right. And I think you guys have probably all heard this before at this point. It's probably cliche, but just don't be a showing agent. Okay. There is a reason that experienced agents hire showing agents, and the experienced agents are getting the deals. Okay. Because you don't, that showing agent is just there to open the door. You open the door. Oh, do you see what you like? Do you love the granite? Blah, blah, blah. And all that stuff is great, but it is not the core root of why you exist as an agent, right? We all know too, we don't get paid to open doors. So you might as well make it about the deal and have that consult and go through the contract, hear your options and everything. Even if it's someone who is 6 months down the road, they know they're going to trust you more, and you're easier to build that rapport if you do it all as soon as possible.
And remember to think of yourself as a business.
Right.
Your business is not to show houses and open doors. Your business is to transact and help people get into houses, into dreams, right? Yep. Go in there with that intent. If you ever get caught up in the lifestyle and you kind of, listen, there's something worse out there than being a showing agent.
Right.
I was known as a Pop-Tart guy, right? You give me something, I'm going to pop out of my chair and I'm going to drive at any moment. Did I do anything of value with those? Maybe, maybe not. Nowadays, that's not happening. Every time I go out there to show, I put on my performance shoes. My mindset is strong. I'm ready to deliver.
Yep.
And I'm ready to perform and deliver to my clients.
Yep.
We came here for a goal. I am not wasting this opportunity. Maybe you don't even buy this house. Maybe you don't even put an offer. But what you're going to walk out of this appointment with is the knowledge that I gave you and knowing that I'm the best person to help you get to this goal that you have.
Yep.
I'll make sure that's done. If anything, if nothing comes out of it, at least you know that I'm there and I'm going to follow up. And now I add you to my timeline to make sure that when that time is ready, I'm the only person that you ever thought about working with.
Yep. No, it's exactly. I mean, it really is all about staying on them, knowing your market. Levi always talks about Googling your job 15 minutes a day. That's what you should be doing. It's really a lot of fun a lot of times because, people like to talk about houses. People talk about HGTV and all of that stuff. So it's easy to make that part fun. It's just you have to make sure it is a real conversation. It's a hard conversation a lot of times too, because you're going to have really hot houses and you're going to have someone that's a first-time buyer, someone that's an FHA loan, someone that's only got 3.5%, someone that needs closing
has
costs.
$0 to make up for it.
And so it's tough, but if you have that conversation at first, they're not going to feel too bad about losing some offers because they're like, Jackson told me it might be tough with my circumstances, but he'll find me one. Right?
Empathy.
Yeah.
And don't forget to celebrate small wins.
Yep. Exactly.
The biggest win that most agents forget to celebrate when it comes to people like you mentioned, maybe people that need help. Hey man, screw all that. You qualified for a loan.
Yep.
90% of people don't qualify for a loan. Congrats on that. We just got to get you the right house at this point. Stay open, be mindful, be available. Let's get ready. Right? And when I call and we meet, we're going out there with a game plan.
Yep.
We're not just messing around anymore. We're submitting offers. We're intentional. We understand. You already know because I already gave you the whole consult as to what to expect with terms and different things.
Right.
Now I just got to do my part, make my suggestion to you as my client about the best chances we have of winning this.
Yep.
Whether we do or not, that's out of our control at that point.
Yep.
But as far as you and I, we're doing our very best to get you the deal.
Right.
If you didn't get accepted because of something else, then maybe it wasn't for you because those terms maybe would have put you in a way worse position.
Yep.
So when we do get something accepted, it'll be in the terms that are favorable to you.
Right. And exactly. And that's it. You have to think about, you're doing the best service and you're doing their duty for you, for the buyer, right? You're representing the buyer. The listing agent's going to do the same thing for the seller. So they're trying to get the best deal for them, but don't turn the buyer's offer into the best deal for the seller if the buyer can't make that work, right? That's the absolute worst thing you can do, and will mess you up more than losing a few until finding the right match.
That's a great point because you know this and I know this. There is nothing worse than going under contract with something that was not even doable in the first place.
Yeah.
And now you have to terminate.
Yep. Or just, I hate buyer's remorse. This happened a lot again. We bring up COVID a lot because this was the most common period of time in real estate here that it happened. They would go and they feel like they're overpaid. And they didn't want to offer that. They loved the house and they wanted the house, but they were like really uncomfortable paying that price, and it makes them regret it.
Yeah.
And then they want to sell the house, and then 2 years go by and
Still have
try
no
to sell
equity.
them. So no equity, suboptimal market, whatever happens, and that's tough to live with too. So you might as well do it as best you can because you want to feel good. As an agent, I know we have many clients. We each have probably some that we don't really feel so good about selling that house, and it may not have been in our control, but it's something that you want to feel good about all the time, and don't be the salesman, and just sell them the first thing they say yes to.
I agree with you 100%, man. Jackson, I think we covered some great things to do for this year, activities for agents, suggestions, right? If you take anything out of this, just to paint the picture for you, don't go out there with clients this year if you haven't done this, a huddle, a one-on-one. My opportunity to deliver to you, to educate you, and for you to be on the same page as me. Now that we're both on the same page, let's go and do the job. Where it takes a month or 6 months, at least we know that we're going to be working together.
Right.
That is given. No one is going to help you better than me. No one sympathizes with you more than I do. Let's keep it going. But this is what I need for you. And this is what you need from me. I'll deliver this. Just deliver your part and we'll get this deal done.
Yep. I think one last thing from me too is, like you said, if the game plan changes ever, and this happens a lot, we run into it, maybe they're looking for a specific location, but in that location, it's all older homes, smaller homes, all 2 stories, and they want a 1 story. And we have to change that game plan. It does happen. huddle again. You know, don't just do it one single time and then drift away and just try other areas before you just sit in another room and say, hey, okay, we tried this. Your house is not there. So do you have options to go further out? Do you have options to go a little more money? Maybe that will help. And just keep having that meeting, you know, and that really is easy to stay sticky with your people, build that rapport, and keep them.
I mean, it's not a major secret, right? It's communication.
Yeah, that's it.
Right? Most agents lose their clients or they get ghosted because they never delivered anything. Because they never huddled and say, hey, we were doing this, but now it's changed, so this is what we need to do. They just do things without the client knowing, so the client's perception is, oh, you're trying to steer me into something that I don't even know about. Why are you showing me houses on the other side of town? Maybe if I would have told you, hey, Jackson, over there, it's probably not going to happen because this, and that. Over here, I found a great option. You know, I mean, you don't have to say yes, but we can definitely go check it out and see what works. A lot of people that were here in the same position as you, they started going that way for this reason, that reason, and this reason. If you're open to it, I would love to show you. Can I start sending you a couple houses in that area?
Right, exactly.
Communication. I'm not just going to send you 40 houses in another state, in another town, and now you hate me.
They'll do
communicated.
They'll do exactly that, like you said too. They'll say, you know, oh, Jackson's just trying to sell me a house now. You know, like he's not listening to what I'm saying. Exactly.
Yep.
So
communication.
Yeah. Right. So hopefully you guys got a bunch out of this. Yep. You know, we're gonna continue to do this as always. Like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Leave comments. And
ask questions, suggestions. We're here to help out, guys. We want to keep this going for as long as we can. Your support means a lot to us, and we want to just always provide value to you guys the same way we do to our clients. So
absolutely. So good luck out there, and you guys have a good one.